Welcome back for Game 6 of the USWRA Low Point Wheelchair Rugby National Championships, hosted by RISEAdaptiveSports. Game 6, we have the Northridge Knights going up against the Irving Outlaws. Irving Outlaws are adding a few new players to their mix this game. You'll see Coach Steve Curley from Tier Texans out there. As well as on their bench, they have Brian Spurley coming into play. The opening tip-off goes to the Outlaws as Steve Curley wrangles the ball and then immediately gets called for a backcourt violation. Mike DeYoung will inbound for the Northridge Knights. Number 22, Colton Parker. Takes the ball. The Outlaws are hanging out in key defense. Colton Parker pushes towards C-gap to draw Steve Curley over. Then curls back around to the left. No dice there either as Gabe Garcia blocks the way. Ooh, Gabe Garcia swipes at the ball. He's able to get it loose. Is Wary able to grab it? Wary was able to bring the ball up, but immediately gets it swiped from him as well. It will be Outlaws ball. Inbound goes to Gabe Garcia, who puts a bump up. Can Wary chase it down in time? Wary does and scores the first try of the game for the Outlaws. Mike DeYoung has the inbound for the Northridge Knights. Looking for an outlet. Puts the ball into Jesus Velasco, who then immediately hands the ball off to Colton Parker. Colton Parker is working back and forth on Steve Curley. He's trying to get around, no dice. So he puts the ball up in a pass. That is incomplete and rolls out of bounds. It will be Outlaws ball. Gabe Garcia puts a bump pass in to Wary. Catches the ball, but he gets caught right just short of the try line. Can he get it free? Can he get in for the try? He doesn't. He backs out, but a timeout is called for the Outlaws. Gabe Garcia will take the inbound for the Outlaws out of the corner. Puts the ball inbounds to Steve Curley. Steve Curley curls back to the right, then crosses back left. He's looking for that C gap. Can he fit through? He's squeezed in there, but he gets stuck, but he managed to get the try anyway. Mike DeYoung has the inbound for Northridge Knights. Doesn't have a whole lot of options to inbound too. So he goes to Joey Merrick. Takes the ball, then passes it right back to Mike DeYoung, but he fumbles the ball. Merrick recovers it and gets it back to Mike DeYoung, who's able to pass it out to Colton, who calls timeout. Mike DeYoung inbounds to Colton Parker. Outlaws are in a key defensive setup. Colton Parker drives hard on the right. Cuts inside, working his way all the way over to the left. Checks the B gap, passes to Mike DeYoung, who's able to squeeze in for a try. That was the Northridge Knights' first try of the game. On the inbound, Steve Curley has the ball. He's driving up the left side of the court. Colton Parker comes in for a stop, but Steve Curley shimmies around him and takes the ball all the way in for the try. Mike DeYoung is the inbound for Northridge Rights. Colton Parker is getting doubled out by Gabe Garcia. And number 2 for the Outlaws. But he gets free. Now he has the ball. He's driving hard up the left side. He's got nobody around him. He will roll in easily for the try. Steve Curley takes the inbound, works around low. Colton Parker's beating him up down low. He's got heavy pressure. He puts the ball up, but it's deflected and rolls out of bounds. It will remain Outlaws ball. Steve Curley takes the inbounds for the Outlaws. Pushes through the crowd up in the center of the court, runs right into Colton. Throws a pass off to Wary. Wary dumps the pass right up to Gabe Garcia. Gabe Garcia will roll in for the try, uncontested. Mike DeYoung inbounds to Joey Merrick. Joe Merrick has the ball, passes it up to Colton Parker. Will take it, push up the center. He gets met by Whitaker just on the line, but Whitaker is not able to stop him. Wary, on the other hand, comes in and stops him. Colton's cutting back across the right side. He's got Joey Merrick to block, but he's cutting back in with the pass to Mike DeYoung that went through his hands. Recovered by number 2 on the Outlaws, who then passes the ball to Steve Curley. Steve Curley's jammed up. What's his play? He's bouncing out to the left side. He's got space on the left. It's a race between him and Colton Parker. What? Oh, unfortunately, it was a 12-second violation. They did not get it out into the front court in time. Mike DeYoung inbounds to Colton Parker, who's immediately jammed up, but he's able to turn around and follow Mike around the left side. Sebastian comes in to block, but Colton Parker is able to roll in easily behind a pick from Jesus Velasco. Curley takes the inbound, busts around to the left sideline. He's got open space. He cuts back center to avoid Colton Parker. Now he tries to cut back left, but Colton stops him. Steve continues around to the right. He gets caught up, but makes the pass to Brian Spurley, who takes it in for a try. Colton Parker has the ball, willing on the left side of the court. Brian Spurley is on defense, chasing him all around the side of the court. Parker puts the ball up, reined in by Joey Merrick in the front court. And Joey Merrick takes it in for an uncontested try. Spurley has the inbounds for the Outlaws. Bumps the pass right out to Steve Curley. Came in hot on the right side. Comes underneath, gets jammed up by Mike DeYoung. Scoots around Jesus Velasco. Once again, it's on the left side with Colton Parker closing in. Passes to Brian Spurley, who wheels it in for the try. Mike DeYoung is pushing on the left side, passes to Colton Parker, who's cutting it back hard to the right. He's looking for that far right sideline and that block. He's able to beat Brian Spurley around the outside and take it in for a try. Brian Spurley has the ball in the backcourt for the Outlaws. Runs into traffic in the center, so wheels around to the right side, then puts up a pass to Wary in the front court. Wary has the ball, looking for an outlet. Spurley rolls around to his left side. Nothing happening there, so Wary puts it around the ball, but it bounces off the front of Brian Spurley's chair, then Colton Parker's chair. Mike DeYoung tries to chase it down, but isn't able to get it. It will be Outlaws ball. Gabe Garcia will inbound for the Outlaws from the corner. Puts a bounce in right to Brian Spurley, who scores a try. DeYoung inbounds to Joey Merrick, who turns around, takes it up, and then immediately dumps it off to Colton Parker, who's got to watch out for that midcourt line. He's able to corral it safely and continue on around to the right side of the court. It's Parker versus Spurley. Now Spurley versus DeYoung and Parker. Parker works his way around for the try. Sebastian Broussard inbound for the Outlaws. Gets a bounce pass into Gabe Garcia. Gabe is looking. He puts up a bump to Wary on the right side, who immediately gets spun by Colton Parker back to the word to center. But Wary continues. He's stopped right behind the line, so he puts forward a pass to the front court, picked up by Brian Spurley. Brian Spurley wakes his way up the middle, finds himself a gap to score the try. DeYoung inbounds to Colton Parker, high on the right side, who sweeps down underneath and cuts back center. He's pushing up the center, working his way toward the left sideline as Gabe closes in. Gabe doesn't have the speed to catch him, though, so Colton Parker slides alongside him easily for the try. Sebastian Broussard inbounds to Brian Spurley. Brian Spurley is stuck down low, so he dumps the ball off to Wary in the center. Wary's looking for the pass back to Spurley. He gets it. Spurley puts the ball up into the front court, and Gabe receives it. Oh, but gets the ball swiped away by Mike DeYoung. Looks like the ball will bounce out of bounds, and it will remain Outlaws ball. Gabe Garcia inbounds the ball from a corner to Brian Spurley. Works his way back around to the right. Now he's in the center. Brian's looking for blockers. Instead, he dumps it off to Gabe Garcia for the try. Colton Parker's inbounding. He shifts down to the right to dump off to Mike DeYoung, looking for the give and go, but he's still stuck on the baseline. So he gets it to Jesus Velasco, and then dumps it off to Joey Merrick. Merrick dumps the ball off into the front court to no one in particular, but Mike DeYoung, Mike DeYoung is not able to reel it in and takes out a window on the other side of the court. Looks like we're going to have a little bit of a break here, people, while we clean up all the broken glass. All right, folks, as they have finished getting all the glass bits cleaned up off the floor and applied a section of chain link fence to cover up the glass. So hopefully the rest of the windows should be safe. Update on player Mike DeYoung, who hit the window. Doesn't have any major injuries, just a small cut. That's it. He's otherwise doing fine. So we will resume gameplay here shortly as Gabe Garcia is all set to inbound the ball from the corner for the Outlaws. Gabe Garcia puts a long bump pass in as Worry will attempt to chase it down. Does he get it? He does not. Oh, but the ball stays live. Colton Parker is able to recover the ball and get it to Josh O'Neill, who comes charging up the court to score a try for the Knights. Garcia inbounds to Brian Spurley. Take to the right, then cuts back hard to the left. Oh, Spurley loses the ball and is recovered by Colton Parker, who's able to get it right before the try line and take it in for a try for the Knights. And that is the end of the first quarter, folks. One quarter play in. The Irving Outlaws have a score of 10, and the Northridge Knights have 9. Looks like since we had just finished up a fairly good rest time, they're going to skip over the couple-minute break between quarters and roll right into the second quarter here. As Colton Parker takes the inbound, dumps it off to Jesus Velasco, who puts up a pass to the forward court, but it gets loose. Sebastian Broussard is chasing it down, is able to recover it and pass it off to Gabe Garcia in the front court. Gabe Garcia dumps it off to Wary to take it in for the try for the Outlaws. Colton Parker takes the inbound for the Knights again and is charging up just right of center. Sebastian Broussard is closing quick. He dumps it off to Josh O'Neill. Josh O'Neill brings the pass in and just sets it up safe to find an outlet. Gabe Garcia and Brian Spurley have him wedged up pretty good. He drops the ball to Colton Parker, but he's not able to take the pass, so Sebastian Broussard comes up with the ball. Ooh, Sebastian Broussard goes for a bump, but it's denied by Josh O'Neill, who takes possession of the ball. Josh backs out. He's in a lot of heavy traffic, but he's looking for outlets. Now he gets the ball stripped. The ball is loose and picked up by Sebastian Broussard. Sebastian Broussard's bump pass gets off clean this time, and is a reception for Brian Spurley and a try. Kevin Green takes the inbound, charges up. Tries to pass up court, but it's denied and recovered by Sebastian Broussard, who passes back off to Brian Spurley. Brian takes it up the right side into the front court. Spurley works his way back around the right. Gabe has a section sealed, and Brian is able to sneak back in behind him for the try. Kevin Green on the inbound to Jesus Velasco. It'll be a give and go as Velasco gives it back to Green. And there's a bump pass as Josh O'Neill chases the ball down and will take the pass in for an uncontested try. Gabe Garcia has an equipment, so we will take a short break. Sebastian inbounds the ball to Brian Spurley. Spurley weaves his way around center, then cuts back right. He's falling on the right baseline, working his way back toward the center as he crosses into the front court. Turns back around as two Knights block each other out of the play. Brian sneaks along the midcourt line, but is hung up on Colton Parker. He's trying to back his way out of it, getting dangerously close to that midcourt line. Drops a pass up to Sebastian Broussard, who's not able to bring it in. Where he comes to try and pick it up, but isn't able to get it. Colton Parker gets a hand on it and calls timeout. Kevin Green inbounds to Colton Parker as the Outlaws have dropped into a key defense. Colton Parker pulls a fast one on Gabe Garcia and then takes the ball in through the C-gap for a try. Spurley puts the ball over for Sebastian Broussard, but it was a little bit out of his reach. He wasn't able to wrangle it in. Ball is rolling out of bounds. Yes, the ball rolls out of bounds. It will be the Knights' ball. Kevin Green inbounds the ball to Jesus Velasco. Jesus takes it up court and then tosses it all the way up for Colton Parker, who's able to wrangle it in and take it in for a try. Brian Spurley is charging up the ball in the middle. He's got contact, but he's able to squeeze through it. Comes up at the center of the court, bumps a pass up to Sebastian Broussard, who brings it in for a try. Sebastian Broussard has the ball, but he's getting mugged in the corner, so he drops it back off to Wary. Wary works around left and then hands the ball off to Brian Spurley. Spurley works his way through the crowd on the right side. He's able to get center, then puts a pass up to Gabe Garcia, complete for a try. Jesus Velasco takes the inbound again, dumps it right back to Kevin Green, who immediately puts the ball up for Colton Parker. Colton Parker gets it, but he's picked, so he dumps it right back to Kevin Green to roll it in for the try. The Outlaws have had a lead all game, but the Northridge Knights are slowly chipping away back at that lead. Let's see if they can tie it up and eventually put themselves in front as Brian Spurley works his way around the crowd on the left side and puts up a beautiful pass and a great reception by Sebastian Broussard. using his wheel and an elbow. Puts up a pass to Gabe and gets fouled in the process. Colton Parker will take his turn in the sin bin. Wary on the inbound for the Outlaws. Puts it into Gabe Garcia, who's unable to come up with it. Looks like we have a loose ball on the floor. Who has it? Nobody has it. It's a jump ball. Gabe Garcia inbounds the ball from the corner for the Outlaws. Right to Wary, who takes it in for a try. Colton Parker called inbounds to escape being picked along the sideline. He puts it into Josh O'Neal, takes it down low along the baseline. He's working his way right up the court. He's coming back center. He's got some speed and he's got a blocker, and he will take the try. Brian Spurley calls inbound for the Outlaws. Spurley puts up a deep bump ball out to Sebastian Broussard. It's right off of Sebastian's hands, though. He wasn't able to wrangle in. It is out the try line on the other side of the court. Northridge Knights will take over from the corner. Jesus Velasco will inbound for the Knights. Can't reach his intended target, but it's off of Brian Spurley's chair, out of bounds, so they will retain possession. Knights inbound. Colton Parker has the ball again. He's rolling out hard to the right. Cuts back center. Takes it out from the front court. Does a few little pirouettes and pulls up. Patiently letting his blocks develop. Now he's going one-on-one up against Brian Spurley. He beats Brian Spurley around to the right. He's heading for the corner, blocked out by Kevin Green, and takes it in for a try. The Outlaws now cling on to just a single-point lead. Spurley cuts back center, puts a deep bump ball, looking for Gabe Garcia, but it's right behind him. Gabe is able to bring it anyway. Tries to give it back to Brian, but it's fumbled. Brian recovers the ball and then loses the ball. The ball is loose along the floor. It is another jump ball. It will be Northridge Knights ball. Kevin Green inbounds the ball to Colton Parker. Picks it up and rolls around hard to the left side. Cuts back center. It's Colton Parker against Sebastian Broussard. He turns, cuts hard. Sebastian hits his wheel, but Colton is able to continue and take the ball in for a try. Northridge Knights have tied this ball game up. Can the Outlaws regain the lead as Gabe Garcia inbounds the ball to Brian Spurley, who cuts back down low. Rolling some spins, trying to get his blocks in, and puts a bump up to Wary up in the front court. who will take it in for a try. Kevin Green airmails a pass over Colton Parker, and it'll roll out of bounds on the opposite side of the court. Since the ball was not touched by any player on the court, it will return to the corner from which it was inbounded. Number 2 puts the ball into Wary on the Outlaws. He's got traffic trying to weave his way through it. Dumps the ball off to Brian Spurley, who immediately gets jammed up by 3 Northridge Knights. Number 2 was looking to take advantage of a steal by Sebastian Broussard. Looks like that was a 10 seconds in the key call, so that's a turnover. The ball is going to the Northridge Knights. Kevin Green inbounds the ball to Colton Parker. Immediately gets slammed by Steve Curley. He's jammed up in the corner looking for an outlet. He's got Josh O'Neill. Josh O'Neill is turning, looking to use that left sideline. He is using that left sideline and pushing it all the way up the court on his own. Spurley bumps the ball out to Steve Curley, high on the right side of the three-point line. Curley's looking to use that sideline, but he's not having much luck. So he bumps the ball. He was aiming for Spurley, but Spurley missed it. Luckily for the Outlaws, it bounced off of Kevin Green. Josh O'Neill swipes the ball to attempt to put it in play, but it doesn't work. It will be Outlaws ball. Kevin Green inbounds to Josh O'Neill. Really gets stopped on the left corner. He puts a pass up. The pass is free. Josh O'Neill is not able to recover it in time. That's a 12-second violation and a turnover. Outlaws ball. Spurley inbounds the ball to Steve Curley in their backcourt. Steve works around to the right side, now back center of the court. Gets a bounce in before he goes to the front court. He gets hung up by Colton Parker, who winds up with the ball. Colton Parker now is working his way up court. Crosses over to the right side. Takes a hit from Steve Curley and crosses back. Now he's going left. And he will find his way in through a corner for the try. Northridge Knights have a 1-point lead now as Steve Curley takes possession of the ball on the inbound. Works his way back underneath. He gets stuck up on Colton Parker. He goes for the bump pass, but it fails. Who was it last touched by? It will be Outlaws ball. Ten seconds left in the quarter. Gabe Garcia calls a bench timeout to advance the ball. Spurley will inbound the ball from the front court. Direct to Steve Curley. Takes a hit from Josh O'Neill, but continues working around to the left corner. He gets stopped, but frees up Wary to come in for the reception and the try. And that is the end of the second quarter as we go into halftime. The game is all tied up at 18. Sebastian Broussard inbounds the ball to Brian Spurley from just the other side of the midcourt line. Spurley bounces the ball a bit, waits for his teammates to get in position. Now starts driving. Ooh. The Outlaws are able to draw a four-player in the key penalty against the Northridge Knights. So Josh O'Neill will take his turn in the sin bin. Steve Curley takes the inbound, works his way through the center for a try. Josh O'Neill inbounds to Mike DeYoung, then immediately takes the give and go. He's stuck down low, Drops the ball back up to Mike DeYoung, who bobbles the ball and loses it. Steve Curley attempts to recover, but can't get it all up. Oh, it's out of bounds off of Steve Curley. It'll be Northridge Knights ball. As Mike DeYoung inbounds from the side. Mike DeYoung gets it into Joey Merrick, who passes it off to Josh O'Neill. Josh O'Neill is cruising up the right side against Brian Spurley and Steve Curley. O'Neill cuts back hard left, but is met by Spurley. But cuts back and is able to sneak in the right side of the try line. Oh, the Outlaws inbound is muffed. Bounce back and forth between Sebastian Broussard and Steve Curley and goes out of bounds. It will be Northridge Knights ball from the corner. Mike DeYoung muffs the inbounds. And the ball possession will return to Outlaws. Oh, no, it will remain with the Knights as Mike DeYoung goes to inbound it again. Puts a sky-high pass over the outstretched arms of Spurley and Broussard to O'Neill, who then dumps it back off to Mike DeYoung. Mike DeYoung's jammed up. Gets the ball back to O'Neill, who's also jammed up. Puts a deep ball into the key, but it doesn't get into anyone's hands. It'll be out of bounds. Outlaws settle into key defense as Mike DeYoung comes to the left corner to inbound the ball for the Knights. Mike DeYoung puts a floater in to Josh O'Neill, who then passes the ball back to DeYoung. DeYoung spins around and moves to the right. He's got Jesus blocking for him. Now he puts up the pass, Jesus. Jesus brings the ball in, but isn't able to hold on to it. Loses it out of bounds, so it'll be a turnover. Outlaws ball. Gabe Garcia will inbound from the corner for the Outlaws. Puts the ball into Steve Curley's hands down low along the baseline. Steve Curley leaks out center. Puts the ball up to Brian Spurley, who passes the ball along to Gabe Garcia. Gabe gets jammed up, puts the pass back over his head. Steve Curley comes in for a clutch catch and then dumps it off to Sebastian Broussard for the try. DeYoung inbounds to Joey Merrick, who works his way back up center, runs into some traffic, but he's got outlets. He dumps it off back to Mike DeYoung, who has it swiped away by Brian Spurley. It will stay Northridge Knights ball as the Outlaws settle back into key defense. Joey Merrick takes the inbounds and wheels around for a bit. And then jams his way through on the C gap for a goal. Brian Spurley takes the inbound from Gabe Garcia. Turns around Kokwak-Sena. He's looking for Gabe Garcia to block. He gets jammed up, dumps the ball off to Sebastian Broussard. Catches it with his fingertips and dumps it up. Steve Curley takes possession of the ball. He's got blockers in front of him. Steve pauses, passes off to Sebastian, who isn't able to wrangle it in. He loses it, but is able to recover. Brian Spurley now has the ball. He's looking for the right corner, and he has it. DeYoung inbounds to Josh O'Neill. Takes it low on the baseline. Swings out hard left. He's in a race against Steve Curley on the far left side, but Josh O'Neill has the edge on him. Gabe Garcia puts the inbound to Steve Curley low, who works across far to the right side. He's working up the sideline. Cuts back, slide to the center. Gets a couple dribbles in, works his way in behind a pick from Gabe Garcia for the try. DeYoung is looking for Josh O'Neill on the inbounds, and he has him. O'Neill is working his way up the center, cuts back in the middle, and he's got the rest of the court open for just him and Mike DeYoung. Brian Spurley takes the inbound. He's working his way up behind some center blockers. Now finds his way to the right side of the court. Dumps a pass off to Sebastian Broussard. Keeps the ball, cuts back center. Take it all the way around the left side of the key. Young is looking for the give and go with Jesus Velasco. Gets the ball back from Jesus, tries to put a pass up, but it's blocked by Steve Curley, who recovers. Steve cuts around. He's pushing for the try line, but he doesn't have enough time. Third period expires before he's able to score a try. So at the end of the third quarter, we are still tied. Outlaws 22, Knights 22. Kevin Green comes out to inbound for the Northridge Knights. Puts the ball in the Colton Green. He fumbles the ball, and Brian Spurley comes in to make a threat on it, but isn't able to close on it. Colton Green recovers. Charges down hard into the B gap, but gets jammed up. Passes back to Kevin Green for the try. Spurley has the ball low, is working his way up the middle of the court. Crosses the middle. And there's a pass out for Steve Curley. Great pass, great teamwork between Spurley and Curley for the try. Jesus Velasquez takes the ball, then dumps it back off to Colton. Colton Parker cuts back center. And puts up a pass to no one in particular, but it's recovered by Josh O'Neill. Immediately gets hung up on Wary and Curley. He just takes a breath and waits for his teammates to catch back up. Jesus Velasquez comes in to give a pick to free him, and he backs his way around towards Steve Curley. Makes a quick pass off to Colton Parker, who zooms in on the right side of the key for a try. Spurley has the ball down low again. Trying to navigate traffic down low in center. Comes out, puts a pass up to Wary. Wary takes the ball up into the front half of the court. Runs into some traffic, but works his way around to the right side, and he will score an easy try. Kevin Green attempts to inbounds to Colton Parker, but Colton Parker gets turned around. After a scuffle, Colton is able to come back up with it, and he's driving up the center of the court into the front court. Airs out a pass for Josh O'Neill. Easy day. Steve Curley calls for the inbound. Steve is looking for big money as he airs out a bump pass for Sebastian Broussard. But Sebastian gets hung up on Colton Parker, and the ball bounces off of his chair. It will be Northridge Knights ball. Kevin Breen will inbound from the corner for the Northridge Knights. He gets the ball into Colton Parker, who gets jammed up and throws an escape pass to Josh O'Neill. Josh is looking for big money deep. He will toss the ball out, but it bounces off of Brian Spurley's wheel and back into Steve Curley's hands. Steve Curley would take the ball hard around the right side for a try. It should be tied. Right. Colton Parker is coming up the center of the court, attempts to put a pass over Brian Spurley, but it's stuffed. Colton Parker retains possession, though, and calls a timeout. Kevin Green puts the ball inbounds to Colton Parker for the Northridge Knights. Kevin makes a hard run at the right, then cuts back hard left. He tries to take the B gap, but gets jammed up between Curley and Broussard, but is eventually able to squeeze through for the try. Brian Spurley gets the ball across half court, but then calls timeout. Gabe Garcia inbounds the ball to Steve Curley along the right sideline. Steve moves to cut around Green. Green swipes at the ball, nearly gets it loose, but Steve's able to recover and dump the ball back up to Brian Spurley to take it in for a try. Kevin Green's inbound to Josh O'Neal, gets bumped by Brian Spurley, but Jesus Velasco is able to recover it. He pushes up court, gets the ball back to Josh O'Neal, who gets jammed up on the midcourt line for an over and back violation. Outlaws ball. Gabe Garcia inbounds to Steve Curley on the left sideline. Steve Curley loses ball out of bounds, but the Outlaws will retain possession. Garcia goes back to Steve Curley, who puts the ball back over his head to Brian Spurley. Garcia comes in with a block to free Spurley, who rolls around to the right. Cuts back left. He's moving center. Jukes out Joey Merrick and takes the ball in for a try. Kevin Green puts the ball inbounds to Josh O'Neal. Tosses back to Joey Merrick in the center of the court. Joey Merrick puts up a pass to Jesus Velasquez, who then dumps it up, an attempt to get it to Josh O'Neal, but instead it's picked off by Steve Curley, who comes charging back into the front court and dumps the ball off to Gabe Garcia. Gabe Garcia will take it in for a try. The Outlaws have fought back and tied up this game once again. It's all knotted up at 27. Kevin Green goes for the give and go with Jesus Velasquez, then jumps it back off to Joey Merrick. Joey is working his way up the center of the court. He's got Steve Curley in front of him and dumps it back off to Jesus Velasco, who gets stopped by Curley. Now jammed up by Gabe Garcia. Dumps the ball off to Kevin Green again. Right back to Joey Merrick for the try. Steve Curley takes the ball hard around to the right side along the sideline and cuts back center. He's aiming for the left side of the key, and he has it. Jesus Velasco takes the inbound in the center for the Northridge Knights. Dumps the ball back to Josh O'Neal. Josh O'Neal is working his way back and forth. Puts the ball up to no one in particular and is recovered by Steve Curley, who then dumps the ball off to number 2. Number 2's pushing hard. Whitaker's pushing hard against Josh O'Neal. Josh O'Neal swipes the ball loose. But it looks like Whitaker got a last touch on it, so it will be Northridge Knights ball. Joey Merrick takes possession of the ball for the Northridge Knights, pushing around to the left, looking for space. There is no space there, so he cuts back to the right. Now he's spinning around in circles, trying to draw somebody off out of position. It's not happening. He goes to bounce the ball, but loses it off at his own chair. Jesus Velasco has a hand on it. Will he be able to recover it? He does. But Kevin Green was forced out of bounds, so that will be a turnover. Outlaws ball. In case you were wondering what the Outlaws' game plan, it is to hold the ball and then score it. Steve Curley has the ball now for the Outlaws. Pushing up the left side of the court. He's got open court between him and the try line. Curley pulls it up, looking to burn some clock before he puts it in. Only gets a few seconds, scores with 33 seconds remaining. With under 30 seconds to go in the game. Looks like we have a turnover. It will be Outlaws ball with 22 seconds left in this game. Gabe Garcia will inbound from the corner for the Outlaws. All they have to do is inbound the ball and sit on it. Brian Curley has the ball, or Brian Spurley has the ball. Spurley wheels around with no particular sense of urgency, but takes it in anyway for a try, giving the Outlaws a 2-try lead with 8 seconds left in this ball game. Jesus Velasco goes to inbound to Josh O'Neill. He's working his way up the court. He's trying to push hard. He wants to get those points. Will he make it? He runs into Steve Curley, bounces off of him, and is able to take it in for a last try right as time expires. Unfortunately, even with all that effort, it still leaves them down, and the final score is Irving Outlaws 30, Northridge Knights 29.